So, Hamburg SV. If you watched my welcome video, you'll realise I've been at the club for roughly 2 seasons exactly. 2 years exactly. And, I took them over in Bundesliga 2, where we finished 5th, although it wasn't really my position on its own. I only had 8 games left. We won the league, won Bundesliga 2 last season, losing just twice to get us to the Bundesliga. And at the start of the Bundesliga season, we were predicted to finish 13th, 300 to 1 odds. So, and I'll be honest with you, I was expecting a mid-table spot as well. It's this squad has really surprised me in terms of where we are currently in the league with 8 games to go. We're in a battle to win the title, which is incredible, really. It looks like a 5-way race. Unfortunately, the coefficient in Germany is below France at the minute in my game, so only the top 2 get into the Champions League, and the 3rd place team will go into the qualifying round. 4th and 5th will get Europe, depending on winner of the German Cup, which Dortmund could still get it. Anyway, it's a 5-way battle for the title, basically, isn't it, at the moment? More on that in a minute, but let's look at the squad itself. Tactics we're using. And my favourite tactics in the game is a 4-3-3 formation. My favourite formation in Football Manager for the last 2 or 3 versions of it, actually. Generally, I like to have 2 ball-playing defenders at the back here. If I'm managing a team that's not such good standard, I'll play them as central defenders. I like to have wing-backs either in support or attack mode, depending. Generally support. I like to have an advanced playmaker on the left, and I love to have a box-to-box midfielder. Box-to-box midfielder is my favourite type of midfielder. Sometimes I'll have a ball-winning midfielder here or a deep-line playmaker, one or the other. In the moment, deep-line playmaker. And out wide, I typically like to have a winger and an inside forward. At the moment, I'm going with 2 wingers, but that can usually be different. It'll usually be an inside forward on the left-hand side, ideally. I like to have an advanced forward going up top. My secondary formation here at Hamburg is a 4-3-1-2 narrow-ish sort of thing, and it's exactly the same setup at the back and midfield, except we go with an advanced forward, deep line forward, attacking midfielder. Again, the roles can change depending who's in it, but by and large, these are the 2 formations I use at Hamburg. And the main reason that I was forced into considering this 4-3-1-2 formation is because I needed to get 2 men up front. I've got a lot of strikers in my squad for whatever reason. It's just the way it's worked out. But let's talk about the goalkeepers. Marcus Schubert in goal, solid keeper. I had to really battle hard to hang on to him at the season before we won the league in Bundesliga, so he wanted to leave. He's a solid goalkeeper. Nothing spectacular, but he does the job for me. Goalkeepers, I don't know about your opinion in the game, but it's probably the last position I'm looking to upgrade to a really high level, unless I've got a shocking goalkeeper. I feel like a lot of goalkeepers can do a competent job. I'm not going to break the bank on a goalkeeper. It's just my general philosophy and opinion. I've got a good one. I don't feel I need to get an elite one. I'd rather spend my money on other parts of the field than goalkeeper. Left back is Marco Friedel, who's also captain, and he's been really solid for me since coming in. 7.38 last year in Bundesliga, 7.11 now, 7 assists. It's one of the leading assist guys in the league. He'll often get something on the left hand side there. And this fellow at right back, Phil Neumann, his stats don't look great, do they? But he's really consistent. He's such a solid, consistent player. I think mentally strong. It's an area I can probably upgrade, to be brutally honest. But I like to reward players who do serve me well, and he's just a consistent performer. There, even though he's chipped in with 4 assists, which isn't bad, and he's my own player. An area I probably look to, reinforce down the years. My defender here is Armel Bella Kotchap, who's on loan from Chelsea, and I would love to get him on loan. I don't think I'd be able to afford him, even if I wanted to buy him in the summer, but I bought him in on loan, and he's done really well for me. 7.17 rating. He did really well last year in La Liga as well. So I'd love to get him full signing. I've not got an option on him. I'd probably have to pay 30-40 million. We'll see if I've got that money in the summer or not. But great central defender. And Julian Chabot is my other defender at the moment. He's had a strong campaign. Average is 7.2. Got him just for 1.2 million from Gladbach a couple of years ago. His average rating is better in Bundesliga 1 than 2. So they are my 2 starting defenders. I've got a couple of others at the back. Benedict Gimber here is another option. Solid sort of player, nothing spectacular. Does a job when he's in the team. He was my starter last year, but obviously Bela Kotchap replaced him in that sort of position. Midfield is Tommy Doyle, and this is a player who's been with me throughout the whole game. I had him at Kalmar on loan twice. Look at that, 7.66 at Kalmar that season. What a rating. What a player. And I bought him. Every club I've been at, I've had him. I bought him for 7.5 million from Man City it was. And this is a manager's job for me. He's my captain. We're great friends together. Steve West's favourite personnel. I know what I'm getting with Tommy Doyle. He's a youth prospect, comes through from Man City. Solid player in the midfield. Use him as a deep line playmaker or box to box or advanced playmaker. He can do pretty much every role. Great player, love him to bits. Then I've got Martin Neto, who is on loan from Liverpool, worth 16.5 million. Again, he's done well for me recently. He's been in good form. The midfield can interchange. Afonso Sousa was a player. If we are in that formation where we've got 2 strikers, he'll play attacking midfield, but he can equally play in central midfield as an advanced playmaker. And look at this 7.37 rating. We got him on a free a couple of years ago, and he's just come even better this term. 10 goals, 7 assists, quality player. Comes in with some really good goals, some great assets there. And then we're going to move to Dominique Avada, another one on loan from Liverpool, who did really well for me last season in Bundesliga 2. Not so well this year. The main problem I got with Avada is knowing exactly what his best position is, because he's right-footed, but I like to have him as a winger. Sometimes I play him as a deep line playmaker in midfield. He's actually got good jumping reach, and he can head the ball not so bad. 21-year-old Frenchman on loan from Liverpool. Useful talent. In terms of strikers, I've got 3, maybe even 4 good prospects. Pedro Vieira is my main starting striker. 23-year-old Portuguese. I haven't got a cap yet for them, but we got him on a free, and he scored 11 goals and a top scorer, 7.37 rating average from 21 appearances. If I'm going with one up top, he's the man at the minute. But I've also got a really nice looking player in Luis Gomez, Chilean international, 13 caps, 3 goals. Just 20 years old, this fella could develop. I think he's listed as a wonder kid. Yeah, Luis Gomez. So, should I be starting Gomez more? Potentially. But he's not been as prolific for me. As simple as that. He was last year better in Bundesliga 2 than 1. I can't quite find the best role for him. Advanced forward, but I just feel his attributes, he's not probably as pacey as I want him to be. I'd love those pace attributes to be higher, 15, 16. He also likes to be, I think he's right-footed, if I remember correctly. Right-footed, yeah, reasonable left foot. So Gomez will sometimes play this deep line forward if we are in this. What we'll sort of do if we've got this system. We will bring in another midfielder or Vada. That will be if we're in this formation here. Vieira up top, Gomez the deep line forward. Vieira has to have priority because he likes to be on that right hand side as an advanced forward. So we've got them 2. We've also got my own prospect from within the academy, Jacob Batts, and I want to develop my own talent here at Hamburg. And this is one of the best prospects. His finishing's low, but he's perfect in that deep line forward support role, which is for the 2 strikers. I think his stats are really good for an 18-year-old, don't you? Yes, maybe we could look at him as a winger or an A-mid even. Going forward might be his sort of best role. What do you think? Maybe a mid with that sort of finishing level. But at the moment he's that natural striker. He scored me goals. Don't get me wrong, he scored me goals. He's still young. I'm trying to give him as much game time as I can to develop this player. Also, recently signed in the January transfer window of 2026 a player called Jose Luis Hernandez from Costa Rican side Saprissa. Good stats, don't you think? I mean, advanced forward, this fella. We've got 4 strikers 23 years old and less, 3 of them 20-year-old and less, who've got great potential, in my opinion. So I've probably really got to look at media opinion there, a star player for his country already. 22 caps, 4 goals, just 18 years old. I know it's Costa Rica, but still it's impressive. So we've got 4 strikers on the books who are pretty good. A lot of potential going forward. And last year we had these 2 guys here, Marvin Pieringer and Bjarne Jakobsen, often leading the line for us in the past, but they're just not as. I mean, look at that. Pieringer did not wrong last year. 7 goals, 7.17 rate. You know, Jakobsen, I felt this guy had potential a year or 2 ago. He scored goals for us in the Bundesliga, so 11 in 23. Did nothing wrong, but they just, the way the game's worked out, I've been able to scout players, and the best options that come up have been these strikers. It's just the way the game works sometimes, you know. Ideally, I'd love to have had a mixture, you know, some defenders or something, but that's how it goes. Other players to keep an eye on going forward. Philip Unsworth is on loan from Man United. My versatile player for his now formation because he can play wing back and winger. Really pacey. I like this player actually. I wouldn't mind getting him on loan again. I doubt we would be able to buy him, but his rating doesn't show it. I think he has more of an impact than you think. A lot of sub appearances for me, Philip Unsworth. He's a versatile player. Suits my thing. Part of me feels he maybe should be the starting wing back, but he's just not consistent enough and he's too young. And another prospect, this is my prospect from the academy as well, Eric Dan. Again, just trying to give him as much game time as I can. His average rating is not great, but if we're going to build this club going forward, you know, and compete in Europe and that, we're going to have some players who are homegrown in some sort of capacity, aren't we? It's as simple as that, really. If we look at the registration, now homegrown status, here we are. Trained at nation and club. We've only got 6 players currently trained at the club, and Bats and Dan are the only 2 real options going forward to start. And this left back here, Bubenicek, is another one who could develop, and is my backup left back. He started quite a few games for the last couple of seasons. I don't think he's going to be anything special though, but he's solid enough. And we've got a defender here, Noel Mace, 21-year-old. I'd love to start him more. Perhaps I will start him more going forward. Don't know. I feel like he deserves more games at some point, but my other options are just better than him right now. But if we ever are going to compete in the Champions League, then, you know, obviously the squad going for, I think, is it 4 or 5 you need at homegrown at the club. Nation won't be a problem. We've got loads of German players trained in the nation, but if we have a look at the Champions Cup registration, European Champions Cup, here we go. Rules. Now the registration is, here we are, minimum of 4 players trained at the club, 3 years between, so we need 4 going forward, and it's not necessarily, as I say, you can, of course, they just have to be in your squad, so they don't have to start matches for you, but ideally you want at least 2 or 3, don't you, that can be be competitive starters going forward. And we want to try and develop talent from within, and that's something we're going to work towards. And Bats and Dan are probably my best 2 chances right now. Manfred Varga's on loan, he's maybe another option, but it's just not the high quality level you want. But yeah, I mean, this team's been doing very well. Let's look at some stats for this season in the Bundesliga. So, appearances 25. Here we go. A lot of greens down the right hand side. Some really good, strong average ratings. As we can see, the goalkeeper 6.94 is really good for a goalkeeper. And the only other player that started over 15 games and averages less than 7 is Luis Gomez up front. Or appearances. Some of those would be substitute. No, 19-2. So, Neumann, the right back, I mentioned the right back position is maybe one which we can look at going forward. But there's some really strong ratings here, and this is why we're top of this league. 54 points. I feel like, what can I say about this team? I mean, 52 goals for. We score more goals than anyone, but defensively we've conceded some. Home record pretty strong. Away record not bad either, but it's a really tight race. 5-way battle, because Dortmund have got a game in hand. If they won that, they're at 52 points, so 5 teams separated by just 4 points, which is staggering, isn't it? We've got a tough fixture list left. We are facing 6 of our last 8 games are against sides in the top 8, including Leipzig on the last day, and we've also got Borussia Dortmund away from home, and we might even have Hertha Berlin, I think. Schalke have already beaten us twice. 2 of our 6 defeats have been to Schalke. It's funny, in Football Manager, you go into a season, the whole aim for me is to get Hamburg to a situation where I'm going into this campaign believing I'm the best team and I can blitz the field. I feel like if I just do things normally, I would win the league comfortably. Maybe one other team would be close to me. That's how I like to win leagues. I like to dominate, like I was in Kalmar, as you showed in the previous video. But this team is not at that level yet. I feel like it's sort of natural level is more like 5th or 6th, something like that. We're overachieving, no doubt about it whatsoever. A lot of our games, although don't get me wrong, we've had some great performances. A lot of the games, it feels like we've just been sort of treading over the line and some tight wins, but it's been a strong campaign. We had a good pre-season, got off to a good start in the league, which is important. That's last season. What am I doing? We started with a win, but then we had 2 losses, and I'm thinking, here we are. We're going to be sort of battling against the drop, but then we won some games, lost 2, lost in the DFB Pokal. But honestly, I'd never expected this sort of run after losing to Bayern. We even won 1, 2, 3 or 6 in a row games we won. Came back after the winter break. A little bit of a wobble here against Schalke, beating us twice. I think they're probably the best side in the league. Freiburg was a bad result, but we've come back strong. We won 4 of the last 5, but it feels like we're just scraping over the line sometimes. We're not dominant as I want to be. So if we win the league, it's going to be a heck of an achievement. It'll be one of my better achievements in the Football Manager game, really, because this squad, it's a good squad, but it's not a squad that should be winning the league. So it would be fantastic if we could achieve it. Next match is against Köln. I think they're in the bottom 3. But after that, we've got some really tough games. Look at this: Dortmund, Hertha Berlin, Augsburg, Frankfurt. They're in the top 8. Leipzig on the last day of the season. Would it come to that? Look at this. Maybe come to that. Hamburg against Leipzig, last day of the season. If he offered me a chance going into that game that a win would win me the title, I'd take it, I think, right now. But what I want to do is try and you're at the stage now where it's like, I feel like if we don't win the league this year, I just don't see us getting close next unless we strongly reinvest. We're quite a way away from this being this dominant side that's regularly up there challenging. I could see it in a couple of years rebuilding. We're a few pieces away from being the side I want us to be, that's for sure. I could see us dropping down next year. It's a massive opportunity for us to try and get a title in the bag, but if we can't win it, I'd love to get in the Champions League, even failing that Europe, and get a run in Europe and try and win one of the European trophies. Next season I probably won't be targeting the league. I just don't feel like the other thing about this, 54 points on the board in previous campaigns of the Bundesliga in my Football Manager game, you needed nearly 80 points, I think, in some cases. We had 75 wins the league that year, 80 points that year Bayern won, 75, 78, 76, 73 last year. We're at 54, got 8 games left. If we won all those games, that's 24 points, that's 78 points is the maximum anyone can get in this league, which is not necessarily that high. I mean, I think you're looking at quite a low total win in the league, probably less than 73. 6 times 80, maybe between 70 to 72 might win this league. So we'll have to see how it goes, but the only mathematics is certain: if I do win my last 8 games, I will be champions. It's simple as that. So this is going to be the Hamburg adventure with 8 games to go, but more after that, it's going to be the long-term implications of Hamburg. I want to try and get this side a dominant force in German football, constantly challenging for the league down the line, and then going in Europe to try and win things there. And then after this, hopefully I'll do enough to catch either a really big team somewhere else in Europe, and see. I just want to see how far I can take Hamburg, because they've got good facilities. The finances are not that great right now. We're in the red, but we're going to get a lot of prize money for our Bundesliga finish, at least 50 odd million. There'll be a nice transfer kitty next term, I'm sure. Club vision is pretty damn good at the moment. The hierarchy strong. There's a lot of real positives. It's a club going places. Simple as that, really. There's a club. Let's have a look. General. Look at this. Facilities are great. 57,000 stadium. State-of-the-art training facilities. Superb youth facilities. It's a club I could probably take all the way at the top if I really wanted to stick around here for 5 years and more. There's no reason why, if I'd make the right signings, that we can't get right up there to the top of the game. So I just want to see how far I can take Hamburg, really. Enjoying the ride at the moment, and we'll see some videos. I'll do some videos to finish this season off with. See if we can win this league. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting to, but it'd be fantastic if we did. We've done so well to get this far, and we'll take it how it goes. But thanks for watching this one. More on the next video of Hamburg.